So you learn the 3 different types of selling 3D printed products on TikTok Live. The first one we went through was Build-A-Box. Well, today in this video, we're going to show you guys how to actually set up a Build-A-Box table. We're going to set it up with 50 items. We're going to set up how you should price those items and also how you should do the dividers and the easiest way to sell and show them off. So if this interests you, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button right there. There's a little dingy, and come along for the journey. So today we got our table. We're just doing a single table setup just to give you guys an overview, and we're going over this like you're brand new, like you're just starting doing a Build-A-Box. We're going to set it up, we're going to lay it out, we're going to also kind of display how you should have your display, your pricing guide from your price tags and dividers, and we'll show you a couple different variations. I have Landon here helping me today, so he's going to help as well. We're going to use items around our store, so we'll kind of price those items around our store. Don't think that where we put them is the actual price in our store. We're just setting it up. We're doing a mock table to give you guys a better understanding of what we found through doing Build-A-Boxes, what the do's are and the don'ts, how sometimes over cluttering your table can make it'll drive sales down. It can drive sales down having an over-cluttered table. Having an under-cluttered table, stock table can really drive sales down as well. So we're going to go through the pros and the cons of how to do a proper Build-A-Box, and we'll start right now. So we got our table set up. We're just going to do it in 5 categories. We got our $5, don't worry about the $4.99 part, but that's the 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And like I said, this is when you're starting out. This is when you're doing just one table. You got maybe 1, maybe 2 printers. You decided now you want to do a Build-A-Box Live. You don't have a lot of space, but this gets you started. So what we did was we came up with our 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And then over here, you always want to make sure that you have your pricing guide somewhere on the table that you are selling. I recommend do not put it on your as a banner on your TikTok screen. The thing is with a banner, it blocks viewing area. The more you block your viewing area with banners, it's harder, especially in Build-A-Box Lives, because you want them to be able to see as much of the table as possible at all times. When you start cluttering it up with different banners, things like that, you narrow that viewing window. So my recommendation is always just have your pricing guide, and when somebody asks, you can easily pan your camera over to your pricing guide and make it as simple as possible. All right, I see a lot of people that just do random dollar amounts and the quantity at say 10, whatever it is. You know, they got a $20 box, they put a quantity of 10. The problem becomes that you have to worry about getting all those numbers. What if you lose a tag? Things like that. What we found through doing Build-A-Boxes is we do, say, like our baby box. We'll do baby box 1, 2, 3, 1 through 10. Baby box number 1 through baby box number 10, and a quantity of 1. So that way you know exactly. So when you're writing out your tags, when you're doing a Build-A-Box, when you're writing out that tag, all you have to do is put baby box number 1. And then you're done. You don't have to worry about the name. You don't have to worry about tracking. You don't have to worry about any of that. You just write down baby box number 1. You know exactly what is in that box, and you can move on. There's so many times where I see a lot of Build-A-Box Lives. They got all the tracking information, their names, things like that, and it becomes discombobulated. And especially when in Build-A-Boxes, you want to be able to take as little amount of time preparing that box for them to start picking their product, and simplifying that and getting that window shortened down as fast as possible. That is what we found is the fastest way. Do your listing where you are just doing individual quantities, so that way you know exactly where it goes, exactly what needs to happen, and it shortens up that window. But right now we're going to kind of do a time lapse. We're going to fill our table up. We're going to do probably about 50 items throughout the store, and we're going to set it up, and then we'll explain it. So we'll be jamming out to some music, and you'll be watching me and Landon set up the table. All right, so we got our table set up. We started out with our 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. We have roughly 50 items in total. So how we went about this is there's some of them that we do singles of, and there's some that we have multiples of. I always say with the minis, you want to do, you know, if say you got 20 of them, you don't want to put all 20 of them out on the table. All right. You can always say during your live that you have more than 20, and if those 3 sell out, go ahead, grab more. Have those off to the side of your table. You know, off to the side, you have your different style minis, right? You have them off to the side of your minis. So if you sell, say somebody wants 5 of whatever mini, you can go, okay, you'll pull the 3 off the table, throw them in the box, grab another 2, throw them in the box, and then you'll put your 3 back up. It keeps you busy during your live, which is a good thing. It shows motion, it shows activity, so it helps you within your live as well. A lot of the other ones, you know, you got doubles. You'll do doubles if that's all you have, and especially if you're doing, you know, 1 or 2 printers, you're only able to get like say 2 wolves or 2 foxes, dragons, or 1 dragon, whatever it is. But this setup right here is the best I found. You got a good way, and I always say I've seen a lot of people where they will take and put paint sticks to separate and divide. I've never been a fan of that. You can either 3D print yourself some dividers, or like we do for this setup, grab some painter's tape, create crisp lines, show true divides, and it makes it look more set up than just throwing on a couple of paint sticks and separating them out. That is what I have found going through various lives, as well as doing our own build-a-boxes. You know, do the best you can with the pricing. As far as I prefer always 3D printing our price tags, things like that. But if you're starting off small, this is a great setup for a 1 table setup. And this works great not only for build-a-boxes, but say you're going to a vendor event, and this is your first vendor event. This also kind of shows you can basically take this table and put it in your first vendor event and be able to start selling straight from here. It really simplifies down your pricing, and especially when you're just getting started. This is how I firmly believe a setup should look. Instead of having all different items priced at different variances, things like that, simplify it down, make it look clean, make it look crisp, and that's the best way to go about your Build-A-Box. Now we're going to show you guys how we go through and actually the best way to use your camera and how to display the items and how to go about your box. So we got our Build-A-Box table set up. We got everything. We're live now. We're going live on TikTok. We're doing our first live. I'm going to show you guys a couple of little things that we do, that we've done in the past, and it really simplifies things down. It makes it to where it stays organized and clean. Say you're in a room, you're just starting out. You got your 1 table set up. You're in a room in your house. Back behind here, you got your printers. You don't have a whole lot of storage, things like that, to be able to store things. Finding a little table like this works out great. It keeps everything simplified. A couple of things that you need for your Build-A-Box is obviously a calculator, and then you need your pen, and I always use sticky notes, and some sort of totes. You can do boxes. I just find them very messy. They make it kind of hard, and then you got to have a whole bunch of different random sized boxes. If you got clear totes, the smaller clear totes, these work out great. So, and that way you don't have, it's a nice storage area. You don't have to have it thrown underneath the table. You don't have to have it, you know, scattered all throughout the space. Keeping it simple, keeping it clean is the best way to go about it. Usually I would have my computer, or your computer, a tablet, whatever you're doing to check orders, have it right behind here. That's the simplest way. That way you're not having to take the phone or tablet and go to a computer in a different area. You don't have to, you want to be at the table and showing off the table as much as possible. That creates the engagement. Having to wander around aimlessly, trying to find a box, trying to get an order, trying to get this done, you're doing too much. Simplifying it down, creating a nice organized space for your Build-A-Boxes, especially when you're getting started, will really help your viewers. It'll really help you, and it'll really help you want to continue this. So we're actually going to go through and we're going to build a box together. Like I said earlier, we had, instead of doing just small, medium, large boxes, quantity of 10, what we actually did is small box, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and so forth and so on, medium 1, and quantities of 1. The reason why we do that is because it really simplifies the process. And so what we're going to do is show you guys. So today we're just going to say we're live and somebody ordered a medium box number 3. So come over here, somebody ordered a medium box number 3. We see that on the computer. And we're just going to put in medium number 3. And I always put the dollar amount. So we know that it is medium number 3 is 65 plus 10, so they get 75 to spend. That's it. No tracking, don't have to worry about the name, nothing. You take that and you set it in your box. What I usually do with our boxes is, if you have a nice place, you can just set it right there. You don't have to worry about it, and especially with one table, you don't have that far to reach. So you can grab items, put it in there, right? You can still maintain the visual of the table, and then your calculator. This is what you'll do. You'll set this, I usually try setting this in the middle of your table, so that way it's the easiest to go about it. All right, so you got your phone in one hand and you got one hand free. You get your calculator up and they got 75 to spend. And that way you can always show them how it's what they have left over. So they wanted a wolf. Okay, I'm going to use just one hand. We're going to set the wolf there in the bin, and we can maintain this, right? 75 minus 20. So we can show them, you got 55 left, you're in the middle of the table, all right? Now they go, oh, I want this dragon, okay? So they're gonna go, here's the dragon, we're gonna walk it over, we're gonna show them their bin as they're filling up, because some people like to color coordinate. They go, oh, okay, you know, this is kind of the theme that I'm going for. We remember that that's 15. So we're gonna go minus 15, 75 minus 20 minus 15. So they got 40 left. Oh, I really wanted this horse. Okay, so there's the horse, perfect. And show off the items as you're going through. Make sure you're showing them off. Make sure you're going, oh, this is perfect. Upselling, talking about what the item is and why you decided to print it in this color combo. Things like that really help. Okay, so then we're going to go minus 25. They got $15 to spend. Now, this is where when you start, they usually on Build-A-Boxes, when people buy, they get 2 or 3 items that they really want. And then the final dollar amounts kind of get sketchy, where this can take a while for them to choose. And this is where helping the customer along really helps. You know that they got a wolf, a dragon, and a horse. You're going, this is as random as you can get, right? So what we're going to work on is we're going, okay, they like animals, and we want to be able to get them into that animal theme. So we're going to actually go based on turtles. We're going to talk about the turtles. These are sitting at $10 right here. Turtles, great, because you want to be able to give them as many items as they can for their Build-A-Box, and that's really what Build-A-Boxes is. They're going to try to get as many items as possible with the dollar amount they have. They're not really about the one large item. Very rarely do they just go, okay, I want the, they're going to buy a $100 Build-A-Box and they're going to get a $100 item. It's going to be a $100 Build-A-Box and they're going to try to get 10 $10 items. That's the majority. So anyways, we're going to work on talking them up and asking them what they all like. They happen to like the turtles. They decided on a turtle, so we come back over. Always make sure that you're showing the price of what they have left as you go through. So they're sitting at $5. All right. Now we just have more random minis, and we're just going to kind of play along, but they're a huge Mandalorian fan, so they go, I really want the Mando. Okay. So we're going to do -5. Make sure at the end of the Build-A-Box, you always show them that their total is 0, okay? Because I've found in the past that sometimes you have to go through and recalculate for them quite a few times. And it also helps you as well. Because when you're trying to do things, you're trying to answer comments, and you're trying to, do your live, making sure that you show them, all right, it's not only for the customer, but it's also for you to go, okay, this box is now done, okay? So once you're at 0, you put that, and you kind of show off the items. A lot of people always offer screenshots of items. Always offer the screenshots of the items so they know they have a visual reference of what they're going to be getting. Because it's not an individual listing, it's a conglomerate of items. So you want to make sure that you offer screenshots so they know exactly what to expect when their box comes, because 4 or 5 days from now, they might not remember, okay? So the next thing is after we're done with this is why this makes a great opportunity. We set that right there. It's nice, clean, and we are ready to go for our next box right there. Everything's done right here. It's clean, it's simple. You've never had to walk away from your table. So this is how we have went through to develop our Build-A-Box. Starting out, this is the best way. This is a great way to start out. Hopefully you guys found this extremely informative. If you guys have any more questions, comments, or anything like that, or better ways that you found to do a Build-A-Box, beep boop a comment down below and let us know. And if you guys do like this style content, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. And until the next video, bye.